This is ChatGPT, one of the most used AIs on the planet. Around late 2023, there were about 100 million weekly active users. Yeah, per week. Which is crazy, right? With Google becoming, dumber and dumber with their ads and AI, many people are slowly switching over to ChatGPT to ask things they would normally ask on Google, like your code, recipes, translations, and much more. Even becoming your own personal doctor. Yes, as crazy as it sounds, ChatGPT can diagnose your illness. Though still, take it with a grain of salt. And that gives me an idea. If ChatGPT is that great as a tool, then maybe it can help me to create a short cover. And so I did. This is my journey of practice, recording, mixing, asking ChatGPT to teach me to create a cover. As an aspiring Vtuber, it's always been my dream to do a song cover in any shape or form. Especially in this golden age of VTubing where there's always a new, cool, shiny cover from VTubers. So I want to have one too. I watch a lot of videos on how to make a cover as a VTuber, from the mixing, the tips and tricks, everything. But then I realized something. I can't sing. As a fox who grew up with no singing skills and some past trauma around singing, it's kinda hard for me to stand in front of a mic and just start singing. I didn't have the courage to do such a thing, and then I remembered, why don't I just ask ChatGPT to teach me? Also, this video wouldn't exist without this video and this reply by Hazumi Ailen. She's my Oshi, so please go follow her. Anyway, back to the video. So I asked a lot of questions to ChatGPT, from the basics like how to sing, to more specific ones like what's my voice type, is it breathy, gritty, am I a tenor, and so on. And I asked ChatGPT to create a course for me. A 7-day course from singing practice to mixing the audio. In 7 days. Yes, I know, which is crazy if I think about it carefully right now. And I'll let you guys hear the result at the end. Spoiler alert, don't expect a grand stage performance, okay? So we start with the singing practice. And to be honest, at first I was skeptical about this whole idea, asking a chatbot to teach me how to sing. But hey, nothing to lose, right? And instead of me just practicing by myself, I actually recorded my voice and sent it to ChatGPT to analyze it. Hold on. Sending my voice to the scary AI? It's dangerous, right? Well, maybe, but I was committed, and I didn't want to waste 7 days practicing without getting some real feedback. So yeah, I hit the send button. On the day 1 and day 2, I was given a small chunk of lyrics, 1 or 2 lines from my favorite song. It's called Hikari by Shishiro Botan. Before starting, ChatGPT told me to do vocal warm-ups. Well, it told me to do that almost every single day actually. Warm-ups like lip trills, hums, like the ing from singing, like hong, humming it from low to high slowly. Then there's the fee warm-up. You say fee while making it sound like a siren. I know, it sounds dumb, but it did help, At least that's what ChatGPT told me, and I believe that. Then came the 3 type of vocal tone: breathy voice, clean or normal voice, and gritty voice. I won't go too deep into them, but here's the gist of it. The first one is breathy voice. You sing while letting more air out. Kinda gives that soft, angelic sound, I guess. The second one is clean voice. Your regular, straightforward tone, nothing fancy. The third one is gritty voice. Rougher, raspy, with texture. Like a growl but lighter. Not like full-on metal scream, which is crazy. I had to sing the 2 lines from Hikari in all 3 styles. Here's an example of the clean voice version.
Okay, this is the normal voice. Tada ikari ni naritaku tesa. Kimi no ikari ni naritaku tesa.
Yeah, it's not amazing, but I wasn't expecting it to be. ChatGPT said that day 1 was more about figuring out my voice type. Here's what it told me. You're a mid-weight tenor with potential for expressive phrasing. Your voice sits in a balanced zone, not too high, not too low, with room to play around in either direction. You can tap into soft, clean, or edgy when needed. Sounds cool, I guess. But honestly, I didn't care about all that if I couldn't sing properly to begin with. That's where day 2 came in. This time, the focus was on combining vocal style with emotion. I had to sing in these combos: breathy with sadness, clean with gentle determination, gritty with pain or frustration. Yeah, it was something, but I think I got it. You see, when I sang with emotion behind the lyrics, it actually helped me figure out the pitch, pacing, and tone of my voice. Or maybe I was just bullshitting myself, who knows. This continued into day 3 where I keep repeating the same 3 emotional tones and focus more on pitch, volume control, and breathing. And honestly, just from doing those alone, I went from someone who usually sounds flat as a road to actually starting to hear a song being sung. And we arrive at day 4. One of the most longest and the most important days out there. Because this was my final day of vocal practice and I had to make the most out of it. See, for the past 3 days, it's just been me singing the same 3 emotional tones, which was fine, honestly, because ChatGPT keep refining the small stuff, like in breathy takes. Sometimes I was forcing the airflow too much, or I just like start running out of breath at the end, making it sound weak. Or with gritty voice, I was focusing too much on adding texture and completely ignoring the pitch. So ChatGPT told me pitch first, grit later. It taught me how to practice pitch properly. I was given instruction to listen and hum along with a video. The video was called Vocal Warm-Ups Tenor Range C3 till C5, which ChatGPT said is by Safe Zone, I guess? I don't really understand. But honestly, it helped a lot. Just learning what a certain pitch sounds like and how my voice fits into them, it was eye-opening. ChatGPT said this would help build my muscle memory and pitch awareness, and yeah, I think it did. After I humming along for an hour, I dropped a full-on one-take recording of me singing a song called Telur. It's a pretty well-known meme song from my country, and one of the most famous cover is by Mitya Bradford, an Indonesian indie Vtuber. I really love this song, and I really love the cover version from Mitya Bradford, so I've been singing it for like almost every day. Here's her version.
Telur, 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 tiap hari aku makan telur.
And here's mine.
Telur, 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 tiap hari aku makan telur.
I was actually pretty confident singing this song. That's why on this final day I wanted to give ChatGPT my best take and see what it thought. And honestly, it was way more positive than all the previous practice feedback combined. From tone to pitch, it was solid. ChatGPT said I do have vocal control. I'm not bad at pitch, though I might crack a bit when the emotional load gets too high or the key doesn't sit well. It also said my breathing sounded natural, which made the performance feel more authentic. And as a closer for day 4, we brainstormed songs that would suit me for a cover. At first, I wanted to go with whole life songs since that's mostly what I listen to, but I decided not to because, well, copyright. I also considered doing a jazz cover, but jazz also has a huge copyright issue too. With that out of the way, I asked ChatGPT what Vocaloid songs that would suit my voice. And 2 songs actually caught my eye. The first one was King by Canaria. It's super popular and also very high pitch. I can't sing that, so that one actually went back into the void. But the second one was Ghost Rule by Deco27. One of my favorite songs from back when I was a small fox. So I picked that from the intro until the first chorus. With that, we have arrived at the final boss. Everything we practiced for, it all leads to this day. the recording. And let me tell you something, it was not fun. If you're expecting some sparkly I'm having fun montage, yeah, no, nah, it's just, well, it was fun, but also not really. We'll get into that later. So, we start with the preparation phase. We do the usual, like vocal warm-ups, listening to the song multiple times, singing along using a karaoke app called Karaoke Mugen, which, by the way, is a great app if you want a karaoke with sing subtitles, and it's especially useful if you want to practice a song in a lower key. And so once I got all that done, I was ready. Remember Hazumi Alien's video? In one of the parts, she actually mentioned wrapping herself and the mic in a blanket to reduce the room reverb. So what the heck is a room reverb? Easiest way to explain it, it's when your voice bounces off the walls while you're recording. Like when you sing in a bedroom, it sounds echoey, right? Well, that's a reverb. And no, this doesn't apply for you rich people with mansion-sized bedrooms. The room itself, the walls, the floors, how many carpets you've got, it's all taking account on how echoey your recording sounds. And we don't want that, because we're gonna add a controlled reverb later during mixing. I know it sounds weird, removing reverb just to add it back, but trust me, it sounds way better that way. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention, I recorded everything, like every vocal practice, every take for this cover using my Samsung Galaxy S20. Yes, a phone. I don't have some shiny expensive mic just like lying around randomly. I'm not raised with a home studio. But if you are, and you happen to have a spare money you don't need, hey, my donation link is down in the description. Just saying. So I took a blanket, stretched it out and made a little tent. I clipped it from my monitor to my chair. It made like a small box where I could see the lyrics on the screen with my phone on the table as a microphone. But the main problem with this setup is actually it's hot, like really hot inside of it. I wish I didn't take a bath before doing this because after the recording I look like a fox that actually forgot his umbrella on a rainy day. But surprisingly, it worked. It reduced the room reverb. This idea actually sparked from Hazumi, so thank you Hazumi. It took me hours and a ton of retakes. Sometimes I didn't like certain parts and sometimes the recording just sounded different because, you know, this microphone is not suited for singing. But eventually I finished the take. And then we move on to the next day, which is ChatGPT and a lot of Vtubers actually recommended using a program called Reaper, which is a free software for digital audio workstation, or DAW. So I downloaded it, installed it, opened it, bam, beautiful UI. I won't lie to you, this interface looks amazing. It felt like I'm a professional user. However, how do I use this again? Okay, I think I got it. Here's the process though, roughly. So first we create a track, right? Then we drag and drop the audio files. Then we find the instrument moving around here. Then we adjust the volume, EQ. Compressor. I don't know how to use this yet. Button here. What's the hell is the limiter? So this is for the this is the master sound. Yeah, I won't bore you with the technical stuff. There were 4 main steps that I did for my mixing. The first one is gonna be aligning the vocal with the instrumental. Not that hard, it just like takes time and patience, I would say. The second one is gonna be equalizer. So I use a preset instead of doing a surgical EQ. I choose the white male vocal preset. I know it's not a pro level, but EQ takes years to master. And I like the sound, so hey, deal with it. The third step is gonna be adding a reverb. Like just add it a bit, not too much, not too little. That barely there but still adds depth kind of vibe. The fourth step and the final step for me is actually adding a compression. This smooths out the volume so it doesn't peak and explode your ears. This also helps like keeping the vocal consistent too though. And that's it. That's it. I know there's still a ton of stuff I didn't touch like harmony, layering, and all the fancy pro mixing stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm just some random fox in the corner of the internet with no audio engineering background, no vocal training, just me and my dream hoping I could sing in front of a lot of people one day. There's only so much I can do personally. So here it is, my cover of Ghost Rule, from the intro to the first chorus. Do not expect a grand performance, okay?
どうだっていいことを嘘って吐いて戻らない時間なんてやってこない奪ったように奪われて今日だって叶わない思ったように騙せない腐っている僕には腐ったものがわからないおいでここまで隠してしまったんだ命令僕と分かってももう抱きしめなくていいんだよ Hey 命令僕が分かったらもう一度笑ってくれるかな Say oh, oh 幻だって知るんだよ Say oh, oh 嘘つきだって知るんだよね
Wow, that was fun. I would absolutely do another cover again. So, what do you guys think? Does it inspire you guys to create your own cover? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. My name is ChofeeKat and I am out.